I'm my most honest critic. I exactly know whether I was present in that moment or not, whether this scene, also I'm a film student. I've studied in film school in FTI, so I've studied cinema.
Right.
So I also understand cinema. So I know uh, at times that, okay, this scene works in the film and this scene maybe was not required, or this is too lengthy, or this is really over the top, why everybody's screaming in the scene. So I think I'm my most honest critic, yeah.
You will be shocked. So Srikanth is the most flawed person, and you will see this in the film.
Amazing.
Yeah. So he has a big ego, and that's what he's shown in the film. That, and he himself was very happy to tell us to show that. Hi, I'm Tushar Hiranandani.
Hi, I'm Rajkumar Rao, and you're watching us on IWM Buzz.
शुरू में तो काफ़ी शैतानी की, फिर कुछ गैंग्स में भी शामिल हो गए, लेकिन इन सब के बाद जब उनकी तलाश चल रही थी ना, फिर शाहिद, उमैरता और न्यूटन बन के सबको अपना असली टैलेंट दिखाया। अब ये सब होने के बाद जब उनकी फीमेल फैन फॉलोइंग बढ़ती गई ना, तो उनको पता चलने लगा अरे अब क्या करेंगे, लेकिन उनके पास, और ही ऑलरेडी हैज़ द लव ऑफ हिज लाइफ, वो सबको कहते गए कि ओ स्त्री कल नहीं कभी मत आना। Hi everyone, this is Kunal Kothari. You're watching me on IWM Buzz, and अब तक आप समझ ही गए होंगे whom I'm talking about, because I have with me the wonderful Rajkumar Rao and the director of the upcoming film Srikanth, Tushar Hiranandani. Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much, Kunal.
Thank you. Great. So I mean, getting right into it, it's fascinating with biopics, right? It's always such an amazing space to be in. There's so much realism to dive into. But I guess with Bollywood, there's always been a criticism कि ज़्यादा image cleansing हो जाती है, ज़्यादा हो जाता है कि हम ज़्यादा realism नहीं दिखा पाते. You've been into biopics yourself. They've been incredibly flawed characters. So you had that scope to do it. And when you do one like this, where there is positivity, inspiration, all that to take, how did you make sure, it's open for both of you, how did you make sure to show the more human, flawed side of that person and others around them as well?
मैं बोलूं?
Sure, yeah.
You will be shocked. So Srikanth is the most flawed person, and you will see this in the film.
Amazing.
Yeah. So he has a big ego, and that's what he's shown in the film. That, and he himself was very happy to tell us to show that. So in fact, it's just not the inspiration, but it's also how a person is his entire life journey. That how when you get success, how it becomes natural with people like us. Imagine a guy who can't see and he suddenly gets all the clothes. So imagine what happens to him. So he is flawed for sure. There is a thing that in this film also you will see a flawed character.
Right. And even with you, Raj, I mean, well, he's answered the question already, but do you feel the same about, the biopics when you have probably much more popular people, when their biopics come out, they don't really show the real side, so to speak?
One second, I again want to say this.
Yeah.
When I went to Raj sir, and I narrated the script to him, it was absolutely not flawed. And he was the first person said that, Tushar, it's too sweet a story. These are not the way real life people are. And then we went back to Srikanth and he said, yeah, I am a bad guy, and if you want to show it, please go ahead and show it. And then we reworked on the entire script, and we then started the film.
Yeah, I think we all are flawed. We all are humans, and
Exactly.
nobody is perfect. So I think it's always fun when you show, each and every aspect of that person's life. Like Srikanth, of course, it's an incredible journey that he has. He's achieved so much in life, but I'm sure he also must have made some mistakes. So it's important to point out those mistakes as well. But yeah, you're right. A lot of times when it happens, especially in Hindi cinema, when we make biopics, most of the time it's very sugary.
Yeah.
It's only the good side of that person. But I'm sure people have made mistakes. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right, fascinating. And Raj, I have to ask you, I was very fascinated by one of the quotes that you had given, maybe to a magazine or an article. I want to keep running. I don't ever want the journey to finish. And for that to happen, you can't put too much of brain into things, because वैसे भी किसी चीज़ की कोई guarantee नहीं होती.
Yeah.
सबसे पहले तो t-shirt worthy stuff. it should go on a t-shirt. It's fascinating. So my question is that when you're in a cutthroat industry like the Hindi film industry, there is absolutely no guarantee, as you mentioned. And when you have a series of not so successful films, or sometimes when even you are probably into under the scrutiny that your character did not quite work much, or you usually, and someone like you was so used to critical acclaim all the time, does that affect your process in any way? Because something you have a process when it comes to choosing scripts and doing characters. Does any of these things affect you?
If it's a constructive feedback, it helps me. I won't deny that. But most of the time, it's not constructive. Honestly, I've stopped reading reviews. It's been a while. Maybe hardly one or two people that I totally believe in. I read or watch their reviews. Otherwise, I don't really read reviews, because it has started happening that a lot of people started getting personal. Some people, not lot. I think 1 or 2 people started getting personal, which had nothing to do with the film. So I thought, that's not your job. You are a critic. You're supposed to write about the performance, about the film. And it happened with other actors also. And some people have reverted back, which I'm glad they did. But as long as it's constructive feedback, it's always welcome. Otherwise, I'm my most honest critic. I exactly know whether I was present in that moment or not, whether this scene, also I'm a film student. I've studied in film school in FTI, so I've studied cinema.
Right.
So I also understand cinema. So I know at times that, okay, this scene works in the film, and this scene maybe was not required, or this is too lengthy, or this is really over the top, why everybody is screaming in the scene. So I think I'm my most honest critic, yeah.
Perfect, fantastic. Tushar, what fascinated me about you specifically, considering this is your 3rd directorial venture, but you've had a truckload of writing credits that everybody knows, and amazing ones, all the fun stuff and everything. But what was it about these 3 projects that, struck my attention is that the first 2 you didn't write yourself. Sanki Arc and Scam 2003.
Neither have I written Srikanth.
You haven't written. Oh, okay. Then the credits are wrong.
No, the credits are Jagdeep
Yeah, I mean,
Sidhu
yeah,
and
I mean-
Purohit.
Right. But is it so? The question basically was that is it conscious for you that when you're directing, you do not take the writer's chair, or you do not have the writer's
Yeah,
mind?
I do that because first of all, I think that writing today, since the time I was writing today has really improved, and the kind of writing that is happening today, I'm like hats off to these writers who have come in and they write really good stuff. Some of the writers like Sumit and Jagdeep, I'm very comfortable. Or Sumuki Suresh, who's writing my next film.
Amazing.
So I'm like I feel that I have lost touch of writing. Yeah, but I enjoy what they write and build up on that. Like even in this film, you'll be shocked when we were doing our climax. We were not happy with the climax, Raj sir and me and both, and the entire like Nidhi, Shivraj, and we next day we were supposed to shoot at 10. We sat the entire night. He wrote it. We all went separate. Next day we got up. We rewrote it, and we all jammed together. We pushed the climax timing at 12 o'clock, and we started at 12. So everyone has put in an effort. That's how I believe that writing doesn't end till the film ends. So that's what it is. Yeah.
Perfect, fantastic. Just to round up the questions part, Raj, I'm sure that when you've played such a varied amount of characters, some extremely problematic, some extremely fun, and some otherwise. There must be something you take from each of them, to home, and sometimes for the rest of your life as well. It might not be right, wrong, or whatever. What was it about Srikanth that you take it from, you take home?
I think his perseverance, his never bow down attitude. Like no matter how hard the circumstances are, he would always come about that. He would think about something to achieve that, and no matter what, he would make sure that he achieves that. Yeah.
Perfect, fantastic. And I have to round up on a much lighter note as well. I just had one question. I usually ask it in my segments, but I had one question. What is your guilty pleasure movie of all time? Like you can watch it and probably it's slammed everywhere.
Andaz Apna Apna for me.
Oh,
Andaz
but that's
Apna
not slammed, I guess.
Yeah.
Then
That's a cult now.
then is that Mithun film, yeah, Gunda.
Oh, of course.
Gunda, yeah,
of
yeah.
course. You?
Gunda, of course.
Yeah.
Scenes from Gunda, definitely.
Absolutely.
And otherwise, somebody told me about this film last night only, Trip to Moon.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's also pretty cool.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for being with me. I mean, obviously, everybody knows how good you are, and we can just hope the best. And I wish you guys all the best. Cannot
Thank
wait
you.
to see the film.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kunal.
Thank you.